to MD Model Works. We're working still on the Bf110. It's the original Dragon kit, which has been reboxed by Revell. Now, I started this kit very early part of the year. In fact, it was probably during the first lockdown, 23rd of March, I think, without checking back on videos. It's been a hideous year for a lot of people, including myself as such, with the first part problem being I had a hernia operation in August of this year, August the 4th, which meant I couldn't sit at the desk for, I don't know, about 6-7 weeks. But in that meantime, my son had major heart surgery. And first off, thank you to Papworth, they saved his life. Best hospital in the world for hearts. This happened the 2nd of September, so that first month of me having the op, then my son being ill, was pretty dubious. I didn't really want to build models. I couldn't get my head round doing it. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. But Owen's on the mend, which is brilliant. I actually took Papworth again yesterday for a check-up. So we can now get on. Now, I did upload some this week, 3 videos which I forgot I'd even done, to be honest. I did a bit of editing and what have you, and got them up onto YouTube, but now we're ready to go full steam ahead. What I will just say is the job that I was doing, or I still have the job as such, but the job that I was employed to do, I've been furloughed off. But that's another reason why I haven't done the videos, is simply because the job that I do, I start at 7 in the morning, I leave off at 5. I have an hour's travelling each way, which means I don't get home until 6. I have my dinner, take Dudley for a walk, have a shower. By that time it's 7:30. The last thing I want to do at that time is to start videoing. Now, to make a 10-minute video takes an hour, because you've got to film it, you've got to pre everything. So all these parts here, like for this part, are here now. They're all ready to go. They've all been cleaned up. There's an hour's work there. So you'd be cleaning up for an hour, and then you've got to then do the video. You don't want to see me cleaning all these parts up. You just want to see me putting the kit together. So they're all ready to be glued. So that takes an hour. Then you've got the actual video, which might look like it takes 10 minutes, but it can take an hour as well. Then the editing, which will take at least 2 hours, because you have to watch the video. Then you've got to do the cuts, the jump cuts. I don't actually cut that much out, because I show you everything that's wrong, everything I do right or wrong, doesn't matter, you see it. But anyway, that's a little explanation of what's been going on. I'm sorry it's took up 5 minutes of this video, or nearly 5 minutes, but I need an explanation. Also, I have Dudley in here with me today. I make no apology for that. And this is the day, this is the 11th of February 2020, a hideous year. And today we lost the fantastic Dame Barbara Windsor, which, if you're of my age group and you grew up with the Carry On films on a Saturday or Sunday, you'll know exactly how we feel about Dame Barbara. So Dame Barbara, rest in peace. Thanks for all the laughs you gave us over the years. Bless you, my dear. Anyway, back to the kit. Right, this is basically how we left her. She's literally been on my shelf since, as I said, what, August? It's beginning of August. She's been sitting there. She is a lovely kit, and let's make a finisher off, make a better. Okay, right. Instructions where we are at the moment. We need to put our get our wing lights and wing tips on, and just to check to make sure everything is lined up, all the wing area is lined up, ready to take up. I just want to, when you're filing a flat surface, try to use quite a large, wide sanding stick to go over the whole surface, and then you might just have to clean it up. But all you got to do is put her on, have a look. I'm happy with her there. So that one's good and ready to go. Checking everything, because I know what I'm like. This kit is big. So I'm kind of struggling, not for space, I've got plenty of room, but I just want to make all, so you can see, I hope you can see this, I even checked. So place that on. Now we're going to line this up. It's going to need a little bit of filler in places, but we'll run it in. Always run your glue in nicely. Obviously we're using the usual glue, which is Tamiya extra thin. And we're lining her up just for the end of the wing tips. Get a nice finish, we can blend those in. That's that one on. This one looks good, don't need sanding. And we'll just lay some glue on to begin with. So I've got something on the desk, but it's aqua gloss. Right, so again, she will need a little bit of filler, which I'm not going to complain because this kit has been fantastic from start to finish. And we just to make sure they're lined. That's a little bit ugh. Weren't quite lined in properly. Is now. So the wingtips are made. Okay. Now anybody who knows me knows I hate doing armament of any description, whether it be bombs, missiles, whatever. But today I have no choice because this needs to be stacked out with bombs. So we have all the parts we need ready. I will just make one bomb up and show you what I'm doing. Again, you don't want to see 4 bombs or 8 bombs made by me. All we're going to do is just run our glue in and then squeeze, and she's in nicely. Dudley's at my feet and I think you're going to start snoring. At least I hope I was snoring. Then we got our tail or our fins, which just fit on like so. Does that look brilliant? Oh, that's better. So you just touch a little bit of glue on there. That's enough for this, the fins, just to sit on there. Now we'll sit that. That's weird. Oh, of course. I was then thinking they've got no holes for the pins to fit in, but they're not pinned. They just sit in the cradle. So that's that one. Then we have the larger underbelly bombs, which are again horrid. They're not. They're good The kit is great, to be honest. It's just me, I don't like doing bombs. Or any armament really, I don't know why. I like building the actual aircraft. So we'll line that all up so that she's nice and sitting there just as I want her, which she is. Now with this version of the bomb we have another part which needs to sit in there like so. That sits just in there, it sits nice. So we'll glue her up like so and place her on. Let that dry for a few moments, and then we have, which I can see I haven't cleaned that up properly, I missed a bit. Other part of the things that we need just to clean up. Now this should be nearly to the position where it's dry now, and that just slides in like that now. And just touch and draw, touch and draw, squeeze, done. Just check that our bomb sits relatively nicely, which it does. And then just push her in, hold. And there's our, I would say that's 500, I presume these are 100, or is that 250 and 100, whatever they are. I haven't checked yet, I will do my research. And let that dry. Now I've got 4 more little ones to build, or 3 more. No, hang on, 2, 4, 6, I've got 8 of them to build, I believe. We have the racks which go on the bottom for the single bomb, so you get 4, so that is just 4. Right, we're gonna, I have drilled the holes. Now, I hope we see this. All I'm gonna do is just give the holes a little bit of a clean up and expand them just slightly. Oop, put him out of the way for a sec. Being just a bit careful. Just to get those holes opened, ready to take our start of our bomb rack. Now these are the same colour as the underneath of the fuselage, so that's not a problem. I think it's RLM 66, it's been a while since I did it. And just remember the call out on this for olive drab, whatever. Can't remember which one it was it? That was the internal. I think it's M, Hell Olive Matte, which is completely wrong. It's actually RLM02, which was the internal colour for all German aircraft early part of the war. So check your instructions just to make sure where the bomb rack sits properly. He says so. Bomb rack, the higher bit goes forward and it sits in, hopefully, like that. Perfect. And a dab of glue there, and a dab of the extra thin there. Squeeze, job done. Next one in. And in. Sits there true. Just a little bit of glue each side. Squeeze. Job's a good one. Other side, same thing. I shan't bore you with it. What I'll do is do that in a jump cut, I don't know where I'm getting that idea from. I'll do that in a minute. But first of all, I'll get these other bomb racks on. We'll come back and we'll put the air intakes in for the engine. So back in a moment. Okay, right. So the bombs are all made. The iron bombs. And now we come to our air intakes. Or oil coolers, whatever they are. Now this is the first part of the kit which seems a bit odd to me. The pins don't line up. I've tried them, I mixed and matched, can't get them to line up, so we're going to do the normal thing, which is to get rid of the pins, a couple of swipes, get rid of those. We know this is the right one. Is it? No, wrong one. Could be careful. This is the correct one. Hold them together and then glue them in flat. So get them lined up so that they're nice. Just drop your glue in. Now, because we're not using the pins, let's just make sure everything is squared and aligned, which it is, and the same on this one. Right, that's the cat gone, and we'll do our second oil cooler. Drop our glue in. Dudley's done a runner, chasing cats or squirrels or whatever it is out there. Line it up, job's a good one. Okay, so that's no problem. Then that, we've got to line this up now. We have an area on the bottom, so that sits in that hole there and clips in like so, and then this with its extra, with the bendy part, the right one, should click on here. He said should. I have to have it right the first time, and I did. Bill mark. Okay, so we're going to see how it's going to line up, how it's going to sit in the actual receiving area. Make sure it's perfect what we want, which it is. It sits there lovely. Okay, so we'll pull that out, hopefully, he says. Didn't glue it in. Right, so I can do both sides. We'll set it all up. Then I'll get the airbrush out and we'll start to paint a few bits and pieces. Show you how I set up for painting the bombs. We've got the bomb rack to put on and set up the oil coolers completely. Okay, so we'll give it a little while. We are getting very close to calling this ready for paint, but we've got a little way to go as yet. Right, I'm going to call that the end of that part. No, I'm not. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get the air coolers made, set up, ready to go on this part. Sorry about the indecision. So I showed you how long ago I've done a video. So I want to check each part first, just to make sure. So that bit, and what goes at the front, Mark? That's the important part, and it's that bit. So I'll take that away, otherwise I'm going to have the ribbety counters after me. So that bit goes literally like that into there. Cool. Righty ho. Now turn over our air cooler. We've got, make sure we've got the right one. This is one of those ones, double check, double check, double check. And then slide it into the area we want. A touch and flow of glue, just to let that in. Get that ready. Then we have, there's some rear doors which just sit on like so. We have some actuators. All I'm doing with those at the moment is that looks horrid. That really does look odd. Probably me. Ah, that's me. Should have known better. Wrong way around, Mark. That's better. Apologies, Dragon. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's Dragon. I was going to say Meng. That sits in. It sits lovely. What we will do is not glue it. There's a reason. Right. Now I need to find a couple of parts. Bear with me for 2 seconds while I find them. And they are on the ends. So we've got to find an end sprue. I do apologise for this taking a little while. Okay. End. Hopefully. End. Lovely job. Right, so we have N5, which is the centre one. So we want these 2 small little parts clipped off. And then we want N3, which are these 2 little tiddly parts. If you use a decent set of snippers, you won't need to do anything with those apart from glue them in. Right, so we have our part. One thing we want to do is to work out exactly how these go on, and they are a bit of a pain. Right. Okay, so just need to put that bit in there, and then we get our coaxial area and place that in there like so, upright, so that it's sitting square is what I mean. And that will sit, and I'll show you it, into this hole here. There is a hole there to take that. This hasn't been glued yet because I want that separate for now until I line that up. Right, and then we have a splitter at the front, which is nice. That can go in there, and that splits the airflow. Make that nice and straight. Like so. Okay, that's the first one. Right, I'll do the other. I'm going to call that bit done, this part done. I'm going to do the other ones. I'm going to come back, we'll get the airbrush out, we'll put some paint on her, because we're going to need to start to get some paint on the actual airframe, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks for watching.